So we have a really exciting episode of Strictly Professional today because we are going to be exploring the vibrant world of UK education, something that we know matters so much to students, those that are coming in, those that are looking to go further in education here in Pakistan. So today we're breaking down the application process and scholarships to living experiences and post-study opportunities. For the next hour, we're going to be going through the ins and outs of UK education. And we're also going to talk to someone who has lived it and is going to be telling us their real life experience. So let's get strictly professional and make those dreams a reality. Hi, guys.
Hi, Sabah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good.
I want to tell our listeners who's actually in studio with us, we have Mr. Usman Khalid, Senior Manager of the Higher Education Mobility at British Council Pakistan. I got that all right?
That's right.
Excellent. Then we have Shanzeh Sabzwari, visual artist, illustrator, freelance writer, and also one of my friends.
Yay!
I didn't know that we were going to be in studio together today, so that was exciting. Do you guys care about education personally as people, or no?
We absolutely do.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
Sure,
That's why we're here.
He's like, right, of course, that's why we're here. I was just
I've
joking.
been working for the council for the last 18 years.
18
and
years?
it's been education only. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I don't look that old, I know.
I know. Honestly,
You must be thinking about it.
share the skin routine. If you're just listening, I advise you go to
Please do
YouTube
share
because
it,
this
yeah.
is fantastic. 18 years.
Yeah.
That is very impressive.
Amazing.
And you've been working in higher education, pushing students towards.
So it's been like 3 years that I've started working in higher education, but I've mostly been with school education before that.
Okay, very cool. Wow, that's impressive.
That is
18
impressive.
years is amazing. Mashallah.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Yes.
Getting to the UK. I feel that alone can be quite intimidating for people to hear is how do we get there? Because as we know, they don't really love quantifying visas to us. But let's get into it. How many Pakistani students got UK visas last year to study?
So this is one thing about the UK visas. A lot of people think that it's very difficult to go to the UK, but let me tell you, it's the easiest. So if you want to go to any place for your higher studies, UK is the easiest. There were about 34,000 plus students who went to the UK. That made Pakistan the most preferred study destination for Pakistanis. And I'm not sure if you would want to know that, but yeah, 97% of the people who applied for the visas got their visas. Yeah.
Ooh.
So the success rate is 97%. It's more than any other country.
Oh, that's amazing. Honestly, I'm like an old hag, but even that's nice to hear. I'm like, man, if I wanted to go study, so 30,000 got their visas.
34,000.
34,000, and there was a 97% acceptance
So
rate.
this has been increasing. Like if we go back 5-6 years ago, there were only 5,000, 6,000 students going to the UK. But in the last 5 years, that has multiplied 7 times. Now 34,000 went last
Even
time.
I did not know.
Yeah, those are amazing
Facts and
numbers.
figures. Yeah.
Wow. So actually, that's kind of a great segue into our next question, which is like, what are the most common myths about going to study? So you already dispelled one of mine that I was like, oh my God, it must be so difficult to get there. Not saying that it's not difficult. Like, we're not going to say that, you don't put in the work. You have to study. But what are some other myths? Like I myself have heard that, the UK is really expensive, or they only accept students with the best of the best grades. So can we dispel some of these myths?
So that depends. Like UK is expensive for some, but not for all. So that depends where you want to go or where you want to study. So it depends. It varies from university to university. There are some universities that are expensive. There are some universities that are not that expensive. So you need to plan your studies. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities available, funding opportunities available. So there's a possibility that even if you can't afford your studies here in Pakistan, even then there is a chance that you can go to the UK and study there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, another myth that we kind of dispelled before we came into the studio is people like me, I was like, it's London or nothing.
Yeah.
Where are there you were saying that people don't understand that there's so many places that you can actually study and you can make it work for you financially. So can we talk about what are some of the other schools, areas, maybe the geography of London, of UK?
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of us, like in Pakistan, when we hear about the UK, we only hear about England or London because most of our families are there. But there are other other places in the UK like Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. So the fee structure is like if there is a course in London for like let's say £18,000, then you might find something of same caliber in Scotland or Northern Ireland for £10,000 or £12,000. That's one thing. One more important thing is that if you study in Pakistan, let's say if you're doing your undergrad, that's usually for 4 years. The postgrad, which is called masters, is for 2 years. But if you go to the UK, most of the undergrad courses are only for 3 years, and then you get to do your masters in 1 year. So the living cost, the tuition fee, everything is half of what you would pay in Pakistan or in any other country if you're doing your masters. One more good thing about the UK is that if you complete your 3-year undergrad degree or 1-year postgrad degree, then you get to stay in the UK for 2 years. So you get post-study work visa there as well. And this is the time where you can work, look for work, and if you find something good, you can get your visa transferred to a work visa as well.
Oh wow! I think that is a big concern that people get there and they're like, we don't want to go back. And I don't mean that against us. I just mean that for job opportunities and stuff.
But there is a catch there as well, yeah. So if you go on a fully funded scholarship, so we would make you sign a bond that once you complete your study, you need to come back to Pakistan and for at least 3 years. But if you're going on a partially funded scholarship or on self-funding, then you get to stay in the UK and avail this post.
And is it to come back so that they also work here and get experience and stuff here and sort of like give back?
That's one thing, and also it's giving back to Pakistani society. So when they come back, whatever they learn, we want them to apply their learning here in Pakistan, so that it's not just one person that gets the benefit out of the sponsorship that we are giving, but others in Pakistan as well.
Community. I like that. I wanted to build up a question because I think this is something that students do worry about, is that while they are studying on these visas, are they allowed to work part-time and also earn money? Okay.
Yeah, so they are allowed to work. So if you are a student in the UK, then you are allowed to work 20 hours a week. And that's when your classes are on. But let's say if you're going for a master's program, that's for 12 months. Then 9 months you would be having your classes, and there would be like 3 months of vacation. So during those 3 months, they are allowed to work full time as well. So they can still make a lot of money. So the thing is that when we are talking about education in the UK and when we are looking at the cost, we convert it into Pakistani rupee, and the conversion rate is going bad every day. So, but when you would be investing the money in your education, that would be in pounds. But after that, you get the 2-year post-study visa, and during that time, you would be getting paid in pounds as well. So you get to earn more than you invest.
You were convincing me to go back to school now. I'm like, well, I should learn how to read again. But no, that's good to know. Also, when you said the conversion rate thing, the temperature in the room was like,
everyone felt it.
Everyone was like, oh, that's right.
Everyone felt it.
Okay, so let's get into actually finding scholarships and things like that. Are scholarships for Pakistani students hard to find? Where should they be looking? How do they connect with British Council maybe to know about this?
So this is another myth that people think that it's hard to find scholarships. So what the British Council has done.
The way that I'm full of myths on
yeah.
I'm learning as much as our listeners.
So I get these questions all the time, so I know what's going in your mind. So I'm answering all the questions accordingly.
Basic. Listen, umpire. Let's get into it.
So what we have done is that we have made this website. It's called Study UK. The website address is study-uk.britishcouncil.org. So all the scholarship that the British Council manages for the UK HEIs are listed on this website. So it's just one-stop solution. You just go to this website. You can know about what the scholarships are available, how to apply for different courses, how to choose a course in a university. So that's another important thing. When we are in the process of looking for UK universities, so what we do is we go for ranking. So there is this overall ranking of all universities. Then there is ranking of that university according to the course that you are interested in. So I would suggest that instead of going for the overall ranking, you first decide what you want to do in the UK, which course you want to go for, why do you want to do that, and then look for the ranking for that particular course. Because let's say if some university is offering that course for £20,000, you might get some university with a better ranking for £12,000. Okay. So that is something. So even for that, what we have done is that all the recognized universities are now available on this website, the Study UK website. website. So you have the option to search for the courses, fee structure, where you want to study. Like, don't just limit yourself to London. I would strongly suggest that you look for other places in the UK as well, because once you complete your studies and you get the 2-year post-study work visa, it's not that you studied in Scotland, then you have to work in Scotland as well. You have the option to come back to London or go to any other place in the UK.
Okay. I was going to say pick a place based on better accents, maybe Scottish, Irish. Those are really good ones. Was that something that you looked at when you went to study, is like how your programs versus just the university work?
Yeah. So basically for me, the process was a bit different because I applied for the Chevening Scholarship. So in that case, you have to apply for the scholarship and then also simultaneously apply to universities. So we were meant to choose a course that's 1 year long. So I narrowed down my search with respect to what, courses were available that fit in within that 1 year. And I just knew that I wanted to do a generic master's in fine art. So automatically, I had to kind of zero in on a certain number of universities. And I was also pretty sure that I wanted to be in London because London is a place where you have, the best galleries, the best museums. So my search got narrowed down.
You can admit that just like me, you didn't know that there was more to the country.
I know. No, I know. But the thing is, for me, I was just like, this is a year-long thing. I want to spend it in London. And I found a few options and I ended up choosing. So basically, you have to give in 3 options, first choice, second choice, and third choice. So I ended up giving in London Metropolitan University as one of the choices. And that's where I got in. And then the scholarship happened. And yeah, no regrets. It was amazing.
I actually think to both your points, because you're talking about choosing London because of also like the cultural and even like the employment opportunities.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing here is looking at what do you want out of the place and different. Because honestly, if I could go back and redo university, I do think one of the things I would have done is like go for something completely different. Right? Because like Karachi, you are in a major city.
Yeah. Yeah,
literally.
that's true.
You can define this as a major city. Like, so why not go and study someplace which is like beautiful plains of Scotland or
that's true. Why
some
not?
rainy, weird place in Ireland?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I love Ireland. I don't know why they're getting stray shots from me, but so I want to come back to this because we do have a question here that is about GREAT scholarships, GREAT scholarships. Is that based on the website you were speaking about, or is this something else?
All right. So GREAT Scholarships is one of the scholarships that are being managed by the British Council. But if we go back to the scholarship where I was mentioning, so a lot of people, what they do is first they decide which university they want to go to, and then they start looking for scholarships. But for UK, it doesn't work that way. No. So if you want to go on a scholarship, first you decide where you want to go, decide the course, and then you go to this website, this Study UK website, go to the GREAT scholarship page. There you would find a list of 19-20 universities which are offering these scholarships. So there is a dedicated page for people to apply for the courses there and also apply for a scholarship at the same time. So GREAT Scholarship is basically for those who want to go to the UK for a 1-year master's program, and it gives you at least £10,000 towards your tuition fee. But still, if you get the GREAT Scholarship, living cost is still to be covered by you. Your tuition fee would be covered through the GREAT Scholarship. But the good part is, if you go on GREAT Scholarship, it's a partially funded scholarship. So you do get the option of post-study work visa if you go for GREAT Scholarship.
Nice. So the next question I think kind of ties into this because they've clearly, you've made it so that you can kind of skip the whole like panic of like, where do I even begin and where do I look? So we have a question about how to make the application process less daunting for like Gen Z, for example, because they are, the largest number of students. Us millennials, some of us are losing our ability to think, but.
So one big thing that I would like to tell everyone who is listening to us today is that don't go for AI. Like if you are doing your application, you know better than AI what you want, why you want it. So don't go for AI. Some people, what they do is they think everything on their own. They write their statement as well, but then put it on some AI to get the grammar corrected or all that. So what happens is that when you put it through AI, then it becomes AI generated text, and that is easily caught by the universities. So don't do that. Write something of your own, and if you want to get it rechecked, maybe talk to one of your teachers, somebody in your family, and get it reviewed. That is the biggest catch. A lot of applications are rejected because they are purely using AI, not using their brain.
Honestly, this is so critical that I'm going to repeat that because I also work in communications, and they catch it very quickly. We catch it very quickly. Editors catch it very quickly. But like a school, that is now their first, I feel like, line of let's get rid of some of these, is that AI is so easy to catch. And I do that. You can write as many times that like make it sound more human.
Yeah.
It's still
just
We don't even use any software anymore. You just give me text, I'll just have a quick glance at it, and I'll tell you that it's written by AI, not by you.
true.
This has happened to me a couple times this week, so it's right raw on my surface. But I'm like, y'all, you're going to have to write a few of these sentences yourself.
So
Exactly.
this is one thing about writing applications. Other thing is that a lot of people think that only those with top grades would get admission in UK university and a scholarship. That's not true again for the UK. It's not only your academic education. It also depends on how much extracurricular activity you were involved in, how good your English is, and the references that you get from your university. That is also important. So I would say that 40 or 50% would be weightage given to your academic qualifications, but the remaining 50% is what you get through extracurricular activities. So don't invest, or don't just think that if I would get A stars and everything, I will get admission and I will get sponsorship and scholarship as well. You need to work on other things of your personality as well to be able to get that.
Get a personality.
Get a personality.
When you say like having stronger English, do you mean in like written skills or also speaking skills, or both?
So when we talk about English, we divide it into 4 components: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. A lot of people want to go to the university where they don't want to take any English language proficiency test. So I just want to tell everyone that English is not that difficult. So if you can understand what I'm saying, then you are probably on a IELTS band 7 or above. And if you can understand what Sabha is saying, then probably you are band 8 or above.
You are a burger, actually. And you are even, but no, I will say, like, to be fair, I can understand. I feel so many Pakistanis, they're already speaking 3 languages, right? Of our own dialects and stuff. And literally English comes in as like 4th or 5th sometimes. So I do want to give credit that, it is a tough one to learn. But are there resources through maybe British Council, or if someone was like, okay, well, I kind of want to put more effort into this, they can come and like take classes or tuition or something around English?
So a lot of things are available online now. So at the British Council, we have got offices in Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad, but we don't have an English language teaching center here anymore like we used to have one. But all the courses are available online. So the same website, study-uk.britishcouncil.org. There is a lot of free material available if you want to see the format of the IELTS test and other tests that you might be asked to give. So a lot of free material is available there. So the thing is that you can only understand the process, and you can think about like what would come in the listening module, writing module, but you cannot improve your English within a month or so. So it's best that you don't go for any classes. You just go to our website, download the free stuff. There are free tests available. Test your English, and you will be able to like get a good band.
Honestly, that is great to have free access like that, and at least it's like coming from the place you're trying to go, so you can get the temperature from them. It's awesome. I think we should probably link it in the video that people can click this in the bio, because Gen Z or whoever is going to learn more.
Exactly. I wanted to add something here. So with respect to how the process can be easier for them. So when I was applying, I'm not Gen Z, and this was like 5 or 6 years ago, I watched a lot of videos about people who've gone through the whole application process. They were giving interview tips, they were giving application tips. And then once I returned, a lot of people have inboxed me asking me, questions or to go over their essays. And I very gladly helped them. And I'm sure a lot of people would be willing to do that. So maybe just look for people who've gotten the scholarship, ask them to, give your essays a quick read and give you tips. So I think that
is a great tip. I know that even Facebook groups exist like this. Some people have even like made businesses out of this, which by all means, definitely. So that is a great tip. Let's talk about actually living in the United Kingdom, which is more than just London. I will keep pressuring that, as I myself have gone into shock. as someone who went and lived there, and as someone who, guides people into going there, how do UK universities ensure that they are welcoming? Like, is there a multicultural vibe for international students? I mean, I would be remiss to not mention that in the news the last couple of years, it's not been the best when it comes to that. So what would you say about it?
Okay, so for me, there were two components to my existence in London at that point, which kind of played together, and they made my experience wonderful. One was the art school I went to, and then was the accommodation I went to. And the third thing was Chevening. So all of these three components came together to really make me feel at home. So with the Chevening Scholarship, I remember we had an orientation. Everybody came together, people from different countries, parading their flags. It was such a welcoming environment, and they gave us a really, really good welcome overall. And we used to have, people from Chevening assigned to us, so they would check up on us very often. So I felt like I could turn to somebody when I wanted to. Then was my art school, which was great. We just had 7 people in my master's class.
Oh, wow.
And I was the youngest. When I went there, I thought I'd be the oldest. I was 28 at that time. I thought, I'm too old for a master's. Pehle kyun nahi kar liya? Turns out there are people who are like in their late 50s who were there as well.
I think that's amazing for people to hear that too.
Exactly.
Are there caps on ages?
No.
So there you go.
No. And the thing is, I learned so much from them, and we all got along. So that was the best thing, right? Then one thing I would love to mention is my accommodation. I lucked out. I couldn't find accommodation till the last minute. And then there was this place, it's got a funny name. It's called Good Enough College.
Nice.
And it had an application process. So I thought, why do they require me to send an application for an accommodation? But then I did, and I got in, and it actually ran like a college. So it was it was a purely postgraduate accommodation. So not like 18-year-old energy versus like late 20s energy clashing. Yeah. Everybody was around the same age. And they had their societies, they had, events where everybody came together, met each other. So they encouraged people to get to know each other. So it really made us feel at home. Yeah, overall, like just a wonderful experience in that way.
Nice. Yeah. I also would guess. I mean, I've only been to London twice. I was in the UK. Now I went to one specific place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Desis roaming around. Yes. I would say they love that. Also, big fans of it. Although I would say that if you are going to go and study abroad, do broaden your horizons.
Exactly.
But I do think must be easy to find some community there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
too easy to find Pakistanis abroad.
The good thing about the UK is that we have got British Council here. So if you are going to the UK, the British Council is here in Pakistan to guide you. Not for other countries, there are not organizations like British Council available who would be there to guide you. So if somebody is going to the UK, even before they go to the UK, we start preparing them for that. So we have these pre-departure briefing sessions where we tell them what to take in their bags, what not to buy from Pakistan, what to buy from the UK, how to go for cheap shopping in the UK, how to look for cheap accommodation. So we are there to support them when they are going to the UK, while they are in the UK, and once they come back, we have got this alumni UK engagement program as well. So they are connected for life with the British Council.
Nice. That's sweet.
And I buy that point that you are saying that a lot of us are going to to London, and the only problem is that there are so many Pakistanis there. So what they do is they go to London, they make Pakistani friends, they are talking in Urdu to each other, and by the time they come back, if they were at band 7 of IELTS, they are probably at band 6. Yeah. So if you are going to the UK, it's the experience that you're going for, and the experience you can get if you make friends from other nationalities. So that's what I would suggest. And the best way to do it is don't go to England, go to some other place, because you won't find many Pakistanis there.
Is Pakistan and India.
Exactly, it is.
And I went to London for the first time ever. American Pakistani, so we are not we don't really get it. I went for the first time ever for work, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out of Pakistan right now. I'm going to be different.
Yeah.
And I went and I sat at a restaurant, and directly next to me was a table of people from Bangladesh who were discussing cricket, which had just happened between our two countries the night before. And I was like, well, I couldn't escape it.
Oh my God. So my university was in towards East London. It was still central, and that's the area where there are loads of these.
But I bet you had amazing food.
Oh yeah, amazing.
I will say East
Absolutely.
London.
Yeah.
So we're not saying don't be friends with your people,
Yeah.
but I'm saying good balance.
Good
but,
balance,
as in
exactly.
you will find community. And, like, you
Exactly.
will. I feel like people get worried about halal food and stuff like that, and I'm like, you
Yeah,
will be okay.
you'll
You go
be
to Brick
okay.
Lane, you will find
Exactly.
what you need to find.
At times, it's difficult to find non-halal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've kind of touched on it. Food.
Yeah, food, yeah.
British and food. Who would think we'd be talking about that? What are other things, like unique experiences you experience living on a campus there that you think, hey, because I was here,
Yeah.
I got this opportunity to do this?
There were so again, the accommodation, I'm not going to stop raving about it because it offered some really interesting experiences. Ek toh they had this thing where you could kind of put your name into like this draw thing and then get if your name came out, you could get a box at the Royal Albert Hall, and that usually cost like £150 plus, but you could get it for £8. So I went there and I watched Eckhart Tolle, who speaks about the power of now. I saw him live and I was like, oh my God, this experience, would have cost me so much more otherwise. Then apart from that, my best friend there was an Indian. It was so nice just to form that bond, and we became sisters in like literally 2-3 days, and we're still in touch. So, multicultural experience. Thirdly, day trips. So, we could just go to take a day trip to Oxford, take a day trip to Cambridge. So getting out of London is pretty easy. That's how you educate yourself as well. And yeah, there were like so many experiences. There was another thing that was really nice, which is that they invited us to Good Enough College, divided us into, kind of areas or departments. So arts and humanities and science and, any finance or whatever. And then each was asked to invite one of their professors, and then they had like a 3-course dinner for them. So I invited my professor, and it was so fun because he told me that he wore a white shirt after 30 years because he only wore black. But he knew that he was supposed to wear formal for this dinner, and he was like, I bought a shirt especially for this. So I was able to invite him for that dinner. And I was like, how am I, like a random girl from Pakistan, inviting somebody from the UK to this fancy dinner?
Yeah, look
and
at you.
Yeah, so
That's called decolonizing,
Yes,
and being able to edit that out of the video.
Exactly.
It's like, got him.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, it was so nice to just have that experience, and I felt like I was able to bond with him a little more. So yeah, there's multiple
But
experiences.
I like how you spoke about like having the opportunity to experience cultural things at a lower price. I know sometimes in Pakistan universities this does happen, but that is something that I like. Looking back, I'm like, man, I wish I had taken more advantage of the fact that like students get discounts.
You get
like,
discounts,
all over the
exactly,
place. Not that you're
exactly.
there to spend money and party, okay? You are there to study.
and just study.
And watch cricket. They do that there. So you will
They
feel
absolutely
very
do.
at home.
So I'm just thinking that we are talking so much about cricket, the way Pakistani team is playing. We can't even talk about cricket in Pakistan. How do you expect us to talk in the UK about it? And that too with Indians.
By the way,
That too, they're killing it. Actually,
they are.
because I grew up in the States, like my 2 best friends are Bangladeshi and Indian.
Nice.
And then I'm the Pakistani. We literally would call ourselves like United Colors of Benetton. All 3 of us different religions, all 3 of us different places.
That's
so yeah, that
amazing. Yeah,
hey, the
yeah.
veil will come down once
Yes,
you're all
it
there and you
is.
realize you're the only one spicing your food. You will connect. Okay, so we talked a bit about English proficiency foundation courses, even how the British High Commission, BHC, yeah, I said that right, will support students in going there. Are there other things that are specific requirements, or are there additional exams that students have to take in order to like gear up for even the scholarships or going to university?
So a lot of people think that IELTS is a requirement for applying for the UK visa or getting into UK universities. And a lot of people know it by the name of IELTS. Yeah. So IELTS is the same thing. IELTS is an exam, English language exam, but that is not the only English language exam. There are other English language exams available which are accepted by the universities. But the good part about IELTS is that it's accepted by most of the universities. So it's widely acceptable. The other thing is that there is a possibility that you might not to take an English language test. So if let's say if you did your O-levels, you appeared in your English language paper 1123, or you took a general paper in A-levels, then there is a possibility that your IELTS, your English language test requirement would be exempted. Okay. So the requirement is not by UKVI, it is the requirement by the university to give you admission. So whatever English language text requirement is required by the university would be accepted by the embassy as well while giving you the visa. even if you did not do your own A levels, you did your intermediate, you did your graduation from some Pakistani university, and the medium of instruction in your university was English, then a letter from your university could get you that exemption as well. But if you are going for top universities, they would be asking for some sort of English language test. Otherwise, if you are going to an average university, there is a possibility that you would get exemption.
Okay, there you go. So be average. Another question that I think really does impact students is, can you get, well, we talked about possibilities of exemptions, but can you transfer your credits over if you've completed credits in Pakistani universities or, higher level education here?
That is possible, but there has to be an MOU signed between the Pakistani university and the university in the UK. There are a lot of Pakistani universities which are connected with the UK. So yes, that is an option. Plus, now one new thing is that there are some UK universities which are offering, they're opening their campuses here in Pakistan. So Bolton University is one of those universities. They have opened a campus in Islamabad. So the good thing about it is that if you want to study in Pakistan, you can study here, take your classes, give your exams here, and then you would get a degree from Bolton University, UK, and you would be considered as our UK alumni as well after you complete that. There is an option where you
would do this at the Islamabad campus.
They have a campus in Islamabad, but I'm only talking about one university. There are universities in Karachi as well. Let's say Zabis is offering some of those courses as well. So there are a lot of options available. Plus, with these type of arrangement, there are options where you could do 2 years of your undergrad here in Pakistan, and for the last third year you go to the UK. So that is also an option here. A lot of options are available.
Okay, nice. So the next one, this came in from a student, is what are the requirements and process for obtaining a Tier 4 student visa for the UK?
So Tier 4 student visa is basically the only visa type that you can apply for. Yeah,
that is your
so
one.
The question is like, how do you get UK student visa?
Yeah.
So we just need to think about 4 things. One, you get admission into UK university. You have money available to fund your studies, not only to fund your studies in the UK, but also to cover your living costs. So just to give you an idea, if you are going for 1 year master program there, then you would need to have about £1,400 into 9 months. For if you're staying in London. If you go outside London, then it's about £1,250 for 9 months that you need to show in your bank statement. A lot of people think that you need to maintain your bank statement for 6 months. No, that's not true. It's only 28 days for the UK. So you keep money in your bank for 28 days, and then you're good to apply for your student visa.
Well, I was going to say start saving now. If you have just been born, now's the time to start putting money away.
So, yeah.
I'm kidding.
So your admission, your English language proficiency, money is important. Even if you are going on a partially funded scholarship, then still you need to have and show money for your living costs in the UK. And that's it. I think it's as simple as that. But what happens is that when you would be applying to a UK university, they would check everything. So by the time you will submit your application, everything would be done. So the chances of visa refusal are very less with the UK because everything is checked by the university. So once you have that acceptance letter from the university, then only you can apply for the visa. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward for UK.
And again, this information is available on the website that will be linked below.
Everything is available.
Oh, but if you're listening to this on the radio, it is linked on our YouTube. Don't look below in your car, eyes on the
So I'll tell the website again. It's study-uk.britishcouncil.org. So that's one website. Plus all of us are available on social media channels. So if you're on LinkedIn, you look for Usman Khalid British Council or just British Council Pakistan. We are on Facebook, Insta, everywhere. So you'll find us everywhere and we are approachable. Feel free to contact us if you need any information. All the information is on the website as well. And now that we are talking about websites, there is one more website which is britishcouncil.pk. So all the free IELTS courses, the material, the test, the processes, everything is mentioned on this website as well. So these are the only 2 websites that you need to think about when you're applying for the UK, and all the information is available there.
So then again, just to repeat, first of all, amazing websites that are going to give you what you need to go, but you can also talk to real people and be like, I don't get it. Explain it to me right now. You you did share a funny moment where you were able to take your professor
Yes.
to experience something new. Is there any
Yeah.
other maybe memorable or hilarious moment, or even like a culture shock moment for you when you got to the UK, London?
Culture
UK.
shock moment. There were lots of fun moments. Culture shock moment, I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, I was just happy to have a variety of restaurants there because I tried British food and I was like,
Whoa.
"Where's the salt?"
And they are very sensitive about their
Yes, I know. I had peas and I was like, "Where's the salt in this? Are you just supposed to eat it the way?"
saltless
Just
mother.
saltless butter.
Imagine. I had a culture shock moment for the UK, which I think would be surprising maybe for some Pakistanis who got
Yeah,
theirs.
yeah.
Well, I'm American Pakistani, and when I turned on the TV, I saw Pakistanis like in a commercial for
Yeah.
insurance, and nobody
Oh.
was like, they just got here. They're just, and that they were just a normal like family who happened to be Pakistani.
Yeah, and they were-
I looked at my friends and I was like, "Are you seeing this? They're all British." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "We are just people here." Whereas like in other
Exactly.
parts of the world, it's like, "Look at this,
Look at this,
foreigner weirdo who just showed up."
Exactly,
And I
exactly.
found that really shocking. Like how much I think people would be surprised to see how cultures have integrated and like kind
Exactly.
of what a actually huge significant portion of modern British day is like
Is-
built off of a lot of our culture.
Exactly,
and our food and
exactly.
their
But I remembered one
experiences.
thing which was really funny, which is that, so I had my birthday there at my accommodation. They have a nice garden. I invited people and, loads of people. So not just Pakistanis, different cultures. And then at the end of it, the Pakistanis kind of knew each other. So we were saying bye to each other. So we say bye once. Then we stand outside, we say bye twice. And then we're talking a little more and saying bye for the third time. And that's how we are in Pakistani culture,
Yeah.
right? You don't say bye and just leave.
No.
And my white friends were just like, "You just said bye to her inside, and now you guys are standing outside saying bye. What is going on? Why aren't you just leaving?" And I was like, "This is just how we are. This is
Yeah.
our culture. That you're just not going to leave." And
It's a three-step process.
It's a three-step process. That's what
Yeah.
happens at events here as well. Up Khudafiz, then standing outside Khudafiz. So that was really funny. And yeah, I think they got to learn a little bit about our culture and how we behave. But it was a cute
I love
moment.
that. We are at the end. Thank you both so much for coming on Strictly Professional today. Honestly,
you so
I
much.
learned so much. You've almost inspired me to pick up a book after
I think we need to go for a round 2 of like UK education. I'm going to do another master's, and now you can do your first master's.
Yeah,
let's
oh my
do
God,
it.
my parents would be so happy. They're like, finally, she's doing something.
Let's
my
do
boss
it.
is watching me calling this something. Thank you, Mr. Osman Khalid, again, senior manager over at British Council Pakistan for Higher Education Mobility. As you said, people can reach out to you on LinkedIn if they have more questions. I want to thank you, Shanze, for coming in
Thank
today.
you, Sabah. This was amazing.
Also, Shanze Sabzwari on Instagram, incredible artist. And yeah, thank
plug
you
me
both
in.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Sabah. This was amazing. Take care. Bye.